All right, guys, grab a club. We're going to start with some balance, and what we're going to do, we've been kind of experimenting with me going and then Shannon doing some cardio. So today will be nice because we'll do some balance exercise, then we'll get your heart rate up, and then we'll go back to the balance exercises, which, you know, doesn't truly mimic golf because they're not out of breath, but there is an idea that as you get through holes, if you're walking now, there is a fatigue factor that comes into it. So we're trying to kind of mimic that a bit, all right? So we're going to start, and I'll show a few different variations. So use your club as balance to start, and you're going to, whatever leg you're balancing on, the club will be in your opposite hand. So I'm going to start on my right, the club will be on my left. Let's just, nice and easy, we're just going to balance on the right, and we're going to lift our left knee up as high as we can. Nice and slow and controlled, lift as high as you can. And let's do 10 reps there. Now, what you should feel as you really get this leg lifted, I hope, is that the glute on the side that's balancing holds you up. So down and up. And you might feel your hip flexor on this side working, but let's do 10 on each side. Go nice and slow. We're going to do progressions here. So lift and hold. 6, 7. So when I get up to this point, I feel my hip and I feel my hip. That's what I want. 8, 9, 10. Switch sides. So now I have the club in my right, balancing on my left, lift up and hold. So feel your foot on the floor, feel your weight distributing. Up, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Back to the first side. Now, you can either just hold your club across your chest or you can put it to the side, don't care. If you're comfortable, let's try to take that away. So we're gonna do the same thing and let's try to work on up to the top, down. Up to the top, down. Good. So as we rotate in our backswing, we want to, for a righty, get the weight distributed on our right glute. And then as we come forward, putting weight onto our left side. If any of you guys, one of my big misses, I chunk shots. That's usually because I don't transfer my weight onto my front side. So potentially, if you guys chunk a lot of shots, it could be that you're not comfortable getting weight onto that front leg. Go ahead and switch sides. There was a story about Tiger Woods when he was going through his back and problems that his left hip, his lead leg, was so shot that he couldn't support weight that they said when he was bad, he would be hitting like 30-yard chips and chunking them because he literally couldn't get onto his front side at all because his hip was so tight and so weak. Keep going. 1, 2, good. Last one. All right, now we're gonna go back to the first side. So your club will be in your left hand. I like to go the butt of the club down, just gives me a little more stability. So we're gonna balance on the right side, and we're gonna start with an easy progression here. So I'll show you a couple of ways of what we're gonna do. Balancing here, our weight is here. And we're just gonna slowly, I'm just gonna reach to the camera. So from the side, my leg's gonna lift up, my hip's gonna go back very easily. We're not going crazy yet. So using balance, reach and come back forward. Reach and come back forward. Good. Good, let's do 10. So Roger, if this feels okay, this is excellent for you to work your hip and glute. Two more. Last one. All right, switch sides. So I'm gonna go hand, club in the right, balance on the left, and I'm gonna start to reach straight ahead. Good. Two more. Good, last one. Okay, just like we did before, club either goes to the side or across your chest, whatever you want. We're gonna try without it, okay? So here's the deal. We can easily just kind of go as far as we can and lose our balance. What I want you guys to do here is move in a pattern where you don't need to hold anything, where you can really maintain your balance. Come back up. You don't have to go crazy. I'd rather you go slow and controlled and challenge yourself. Good. I'm counting, so we're at 6. We're new 10. 7. 8. 9. 10. Good. Switch sides. So hopefully you feel your foot working the ground a little bit. Hopefully you feel your glute working a little bit. Hopefully you feel it start to shake. This isn't that hard, but it's challenging, right? To do it well, to go slow. And I know we've talked about it in the past, but just to kind of review, just as an interesting experiment for you guys, everyone talks about shoes and footwear. This is a really kind of easy test to do where if, let's say right now you're working out either barefoot or with your sneakers on and you feel like you're balancing pretty well, if you go out and just throw on your golf shoes and try the same thing and it's a disaster, well, you might have shoes that aren't great for you. And there's really no better way to kind of test than that. So interesting to just kind of get an idea that are your shoes helping you or hurting you? Good, 2 more. And last one. Good, okay. We'll do one more progression, one more exercise, and then I'll turn it over to Shannon. So now what we're gonna do, we worked everything straight ahead. We're going to do the same thing, but we are going to try and reach to the side. So I'll show you. So now instead of me reaching straight here, so grab your club again. So we're gonna balance on the left foot and we're gonna hold the club in our left hand. So now I'm going to reach that way. So instead of going straight, I'm just gonna try and reach out to the side for 10. So reach across your body. Try to maintain your balance. Good. 3, 4. There you go. Good job, guys. 5, 6. Ooh, I lost it there. 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Switch sides.
Hey, Justin, are you like rolling through your hip or is it more thoracic rotation?
Both, right? So you can do a couple things here, right? So if you really want to think about it, your hips are moving and then your mid-back is moving. This is very much actually like what we talk about in our golf swing. But for now, I just want everyone to just try to get that movement, and then what you should feel potentially is that you're rotating through the hip and even through the mid-back. But if your lower back hurts, you're probably rotating incorrectly. So from here, what I want to see is just that nice little reach across. If you feel low back with this, it's probably an indication that we've got to look into it. All right, we've got to make sure you're doing it well. I feel my glute really, really working here.
Do we want to try to keep our backs like nice and straight?
Yeah, back's flat as long as you're not arching one way or the other, neutral, right? So back to our neutral spine, which we do that pelvic position. I'm okay if you're rounded a little bit here, just because as you get to your swing, you will be a little bit rounded, but predominantly should be through your hip. Good, last one. Perfect. All right, good. Shannon, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. They're all yours.
All right, just gonna pin the video, take off my jacket. We're gonna get some cardio, guys. So now, Roger, you can kind of keep this nice and easy. The first one we're gonna start off is a little bit of balance, so that will work for you, hopefully. Sorry, timer. Okay. We're going to start off with, we're going to do 3 exercises. We're going to go 2 rounds, and we're going to do 60 seconds each with a 30-second rest in between. So we're going to start off basically knees up, kind of just like Justin was doing, but we're going to go side to side. So we'll start off with that 60 seconds. Arms are going side to side. You can pick it up. Get up on the balls of your feet if you want a little higher impact.
Roger, I would just stay nice and balanced, very much like we were just doing. Slow old feet. You don't have to pound the ground very much. Don't worry about the bounding. Yeah, that looks perfect.
Yep. And for you other guys, like I said, if you want to just kind of get it up a little bit more, swing those arms as you drive the knee. The arms are coming up over that knee. And breathe. So we get a little twist to either side. Lots of hip flexors. We got 20 seconds here, and we'll get a little rest. 10. Move those arms side to side. I want you to feel it in the shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest for 30. Woo, and we got squat to toes. So you're just gonna go back in your squat and come up on your toes. Roger, if you just wanna basically squat and stand, no toes. So you're just gonna squat to just like a regular stand. We've got 10 seconds, and we've got 1 minute in our squat. So with the squat, our butts are going back, and our knees are behind the toes. Here we go, squat to the toes. So I'm coming up, getting a little calf stretch in there. But again, if you don't want to come up on those toes, you can just come up to a regular stand. So just a regular body squat. But again, make sure you're sending your butt back. I always think porta potty. It's just the easiest way to remember. Knees are behind the toes, and we're squeezing those glutes at the top. It's part of our hip hinge. You guys have worked a lot on that, so squeeze that booty, because if you don't squeeze it, nobody else will.
Those look good.
These guys are pros. They're moving so well right now. It's unbelievable. We've got 15 seconds here, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's rest it there for 30. The last one we've got, we're gonna go arm circles with some butt kickers. So again, Roger, if you just want to do arm circles with no butt kickers, that's okay. If you just kind of want to keep it nice and simple. So I'm going to kind of rock back and forth on the balls of my toes, and I'm going arm circles forward for 30, arm circles back for 30. So here we go. Ready? I'm kicking my butt, kicking my own butt, and my arms are going forward. Little baby circles. My shoulders are low, out of my ears, and I'm just kicking my own butt. I'm getting those legs up nice and high. 30 seconds forward, 30 seconds with those arms going backwards. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now send those arms backwards. Keep kicking the butt. That's it. I'm on the balls of my feet. Roger, you stay where you're at. If you want to keep it low impact, you can just keep the feet on the ground. For me, I'm going kind of higher impact. I'm feeling this in my shoulders. I'm feeling this in my arms, biceps. Woo! And rest, guys. Awesome. We get 30 seconds here. We're going to repeat that circuit one more time. Well done. All right, so we're going knees up to rainbow over arms. in 15 seconds. All right. Love to kind of just get your heart rates up. Hopefully it's a little taste of cardio. If you want more, let me know. We can certainly accommodate. 2, 1. Here we go. Knees up, arms. I'm twisting my arms to either side. So I'm gonna go up on my toes again. If you just wanna stay flat-footed, that's okay. We've got a minute right here. Go at your own pace. Whatever you can do is totally fine. If you need a rest, just take a rest. So I'm getting a little twist over that knee, trying to really open up my thoracic spine by just twisting the upper body. We got 20 seconds right here. Nice, guys. Keep on going. 10 seconds, and then we get a 30-second rest. And 3, 2, 1, and rest for 30. Woo, all right. We're going on our squat to our toes, or just our regular body squat in about 20 seconds. Yep. If you want to keep this active, you can certainly move back and forth. 10 seconds here, and then we're going into our squats. Yep, good. Little march, Dwight, keep those arms moving. Perfect. 2, 1, here we go. Squat. And if you want, add in those toes and get a nice little calf raise at the top. Squeeze the butt. Again, shoulders are low, out of the ears. I'm sitting way back into my squat. Not whatever range of motion you can do is fine. But you want to squeeze at the top and just make sure you're driving your heels into the floor, getting a nice, balanced, even squat. Halfway there, guys. We got 25 seconds. That's it. Core is tight. Get that belly button to the spine. 15 seconds. That's it, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for 30. We've got our last exercise in this circuit. Whew. All right, and we've got our arms forward and arms back for 30, and with the butt kickers. All right, 15 seconds here. Last one. 1 minute. 30 seconds on either arm direction. Keep it active if you want. 3, 2, 1. So I'm going butt kickers with arms forward. So little baby circles forward. Yep, keep those arms shoulder height, nice and fully extended. And just get those legs up. So again, I'm on the balls of my feet. If you want to just take it lower impact, whatever works for you. I always say in my cardio class, honor where you are today, whatever you're feeling. So that's super important. I never want to push you to where you're not comfortable. And let's go other direction. Here we go. Backward circles. Still alternating that, the butt kickers, so we're transferring weight side to side. And we've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Grab a quick little sip of water, and I'll transfer you back to Justin. All right, Justin.
I'm back.
All right.
One of my patients is hounding me because I didn't give her homework exercises yet. That's actually impressive. She's asking.
Ooh.
Roger, you're lefty. Is Roger, you're lefty or righty golfer?
Roger's righty. Dwight and Gary are both lefties.
Got it. What Roger, which ankle is it? Your right or your left?
Sorry again. There you go, Roger.
There you go. Is it your right ankle or left ankle?
Left.
Okay. How did it feel to the first round of stuff?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Good.
It's still not bad.
Just make sure. So for you, it goes back to making sure that you're going to get, before I would get back out and play, just make sure you're comfortable kind of getting your weight back on that front side to get through, because you don't want to start kind of hanging back and chunking. So as we do, this is good, because if you feel good with this, you're going to feel good as you're getting more dynamic in your swing. So just to kind of be aware of that. Okay.
I've lost my video. Hold on a second.
Oh.
Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead. I'll find it.
No, you're good. All right, guys. So we're going to go back through a little bit more. So we got you moving on the first round. Now we'll get a little bit, not technical, but just as Shannon was asking, we're disguising some balance with some mobility work here. So what we saw before is we went on one leg and then we started to rotate our body. Now, Shannon asked a good question. Where should you be rotating from? And we know the answer to this. We know that most of our rotation comes at our hips and then our mid back. Okay, so as we start to rotate in this direction, you can see I'm rotating through my hip and then I'm rotating through my back, just as I would do this. And when I'm going the other way, I'm rotating through my hip and then I'm rotating through my upper back. Okay, so very, very similar. So now let's everyone hold our club out in front. And then from there, we're going to just do 5 of our straight out ahead. And the goal here is I want you to try and get as long as you can through your back leg and your front arm. And then come back. As long as you can. Slow, reach, 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 and come back. Dwight, really good. Excellent. Reach, 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 reach. Good. One more, and then switch sides. Get as long as you can. Good. All right, other side. Good. One more. All right, cool. Now, we're going to go back to, you can put your clubs down. You don't necessarily need anything, but I'll just show you as an example of what we're going to look at. So basically what I want you to do, you don't have to have this, but I want you to have the idea of something that is placed probably 6-7 inches on the outside of your front foot. And what you're going to aim for is you're going to aim the balance and think about almost trying to pick that up and come back. You don't have to do it, right? It's just the idea of aiming for something. So if you see, I'm just going to be here, and if I can only get to about here, that's fine. I'll stand up. The idea, though, is the goal is to work your way all the way down as far as you can and stand up, okay? So if I'm balancing on my left side, I'm picking something up on the outside of my left foot. I'm reaching, I'm reaching, I'm reaching, I'm reaching, I'm reaching as far as I can go. And then I'm coming back up and standing. Good, let's do 5. Now you will round your back a little bit with this, but I want most of the motion to come through your hip. Good. When you get to 5, let's switch sides. So I'm just going to move my target over. Good. That's 2 for me. Nice and slow. 3. Good. 4. And last one. 5. Okay, good. All right, now we're going to go in we'll do two versions of this. The first one is going to be our split stance. So we're going to put our feet like this. Now, once we're in our split stance, what I want you to do is put 90% of your weight on your front leg. Okay? So you have 90% of your weight on your front leg, and now we're going to work on rotation. So I have most of my weight on my front. Now I'm going to slowly rotate my whole body one way and then the other way. So if I have 90% of the weight on my front leg, I should feel like I'm basically bouncing on that side. And just to test to make sure you have enough weight on your front side, just try to lift your back leg up and see if you can do it. That means you're putting enough weight there, because we're going to do that in a second. Good. And let's switch sides. So now other leg forward. We're going to put 90% of our weight on our front side. Really good. So as you're rotating, make sure that if you watch, my head does not shift this way at all. I'm literally just rotating around. Good, excellent. Rotate your body. Good, take a break. I'll tell you, this is the hardest motion for people to pick up, so at my one office, it's in a gym in Berkeley Heights, and we did a similar golf class with those guys, a lot of club golfers. The difference between how you guys are rotating and understanding the ability to move like this, as opposed to all of these guys, they just don't understand. Like, their whole bodies are just moving. They don't understand this rotation component. So that's what I've seen as the hardest thing for people to pick up. And at this point, you guys are so good at it, you probably don't even appreciate, but I guarantee if we got like 10 guys from the club to come and do this, we would start to see these type of motions, as opposed to the idea that you guys are able to rotate the way that we want, right? So awesome. Let's try the same thing. We'll only do 3 reps, but this time your back foot will be off the ground, right? So as we just did, we got on our split stance, 90% of our weight on our front foot, and then we rotated 3 times. Now 100%. So 100% of your weight on your front foot. Lift your back foot up if you can, and now try to move. This is really, really challenging. You have to go slow. If you go fast, you'll fall. You're not going to be able to move a ton, and that's okay. Yeah. Look at Dwight. Dwight's a rock star. Yeah, you guys are doing really good.
Dwight gets the gold star today.
Good. Switch sides. This is super challenging. This is really, really, really hard. Now, the way that you'll screw this up and won't be able to balance is if you kind of start moving side to side. If you're balancing on one leg and you really embrace that rotation, you'll be able to keep your center of gravity where it's supposed to be. Good. Excellent job. That was really good. So the other part that you guys are doing that you don't even realize is when we talk early on and in separation, right? And so what you guys are able to do now is stabilize your lower body by balancing and then rotate your upper body around it, which is the name of the game. Without that, you'll see that's how golfers kind of just move everything together and it looks very stiff. But at the, at the highest level, those guys are able to hips go first, and then their torso, and then their arms, and then their club. We just did that, where we balanced here and stabilized, and then we allowed you guys to move through something else. That's what we call, that's how you create separation. Stabilize one area, move another area, as opposed to if we were here and we just kind of moved everything together. Cool, Shannon?
Okay, guys. We're back in our cardio. So kind of similar with Justin. I'm kind of just sort of working these exercises that sort of are very similar to what he's doing, which is great because we didn't actually coordinate this. We're going to start off with bent flies with reverse steps, not even lunges. So a reverse fly is basically, we're going to sort of be in that bent position, and my arms are going to come out shoulder height. But I'm going to be just stepping back, so we're kind of in that very similar position. So we're going to do those alternating, then we're going to do jumping jacks with overhead press. But if you want to just do, Roger, if this is easier for you, or you can do regular jumping jacks, one at a time, whatever you'd like. And then the last one we're going to do is alternating toe touch Frankensteins. So you can go as slow as you want. You don't even have to come up and touch the toes, whatever works for you. So we've got 3 exercises, 2 rounds, and we'll start with our bent flies for our minute. So I'm going to be just stepping back, sort of in that split stance. So don't forget to be stepping. So I'm doing my bent flies, my shoulders are low out of my ears. Yep, and I'm just stepping back. Good, Dwight. I see, yep, exactly. Yep, so core is tight, we're halfway there. So I'm feeling this in the back of the neck. So I'm trying to keep my shoulders down. Because the reverse fly essentially is working our muscles in the back of the neck and the shoulders. And we want to strengthen those for shoulder mobility. Shoulder stability, I guess, really. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rest for 30 seconds. Shake out those arms. Now we're going to get ready to press overhead. If you have really light dumbbells and you wanted to even use like 1, 2, 3 pound dumbbells, go right ahead. Again, you can do jacks like this or regular full jumping jacks. So whatever works for you guys. We got 10 seconds and we're going for 1 minute here. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, if you want to take it really low impact, whatever works for you, or if you want a full jumping jack, that's okay too. Go as long and as fast as you can. But really for me, I'm just getting the overhead press, right? I'm reaching overhead, trying to really work out those shoulders today, upper back. I was thinking about, getting stronger in my shoulders and upper back as I was hitting some balls yesterday. Thinking about maybe I don't have enough stability or strength in my shoulders and arms to get around in my swing. 15 seconds right here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. Rest for 30. And then again, we've got our alternating toe touches, long leg toe touches. So we're rotating again over that hip. We're internally rotating that hip a little bit, getting some oblique stretches. 15 seconds here. Yep, up and down, kind of get that little intervals of higher impact cardio with a little bit of rest. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So as high as you can get your legs or whatever works for you. But try to twist your core. Keep those arms nice and long. As shoulders again out of the ears, so shoulders are low. Try to keep your posture in a good position, neutral spine. So yeah, if you can only maybe get the knees up, that's okay too. Maybe going a little bit lower impact. We've got 25 seconds here.
Moro, opposite arm to opposite leg. You're doing good. You look good. No, you're doing fine. That's it. Yeah, perfect. Much better.
Oh, sorry, that's okay.
There you go.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest for 30. Woo.
Moro, the naysayers would say you're having trouble because you're wearing a Rutgers shirt, but I'm a Rutgers fan, so I won't say that.
Wow, Justin. Whew. I thought I heard them say that Rutgers was going to be open for football this season.
I don't know. We'll see. Let's hope.
We've got our bent flies with our reverse steps. So I'm going to turn to the side. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm in a bent position. Back is flat. So almost like a 5-iron posture. And again, I'm just stepping back. So I'm kind of stepping into what would be if I stayed still. Really just that split stance that Justin had us in earlier. Keeping the shoulders nice and long, out of the ears, drop them down as low as you can.
Glad you're okay? Cool.
My palms are facing forward. Core is nice and tight. We're halfway there. Alternate those step backs, squeeze the glutes. And make sure that those knees are staying behind the toes. Like a real reverse lunge, it's just a little step back. So nice and easy. We got 10 seconds. Now we're at 5 actually. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest. Awesome. We've got our jacks next in 30 seconds. 2 more exercises. We got about 8 minutes of cardio here, interspersed throughout the workout. Justin's got a little bit more for us. We can review and then maybe stretch it out. So we're going to hit our jumping jacks with our overhead press. Again, if you've got any weights or even your golf club, if you want to use that, maybe I'll use that today to kind of show how that looks. 3, 2, 1. So here we go. So I'm just coming down to like 90-degree arms. So again, if you want to just kind of keep it really light, lower impact, or you want to go higher. Woo. That's it, guys. Looking good. Making the most of your class on Thursday. Super proud of you. So again, we're keeping our shoulders out of the ears. Relax them. Just like a regular overhead press. 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Rest for 30. And we've got our long leg toe touches, alternating opposite arm to foot. Grab a quick sip of water if you'd like. Hopefully you guys are using your water bottles out on the course. You're bringing your water with you to stay hydrated. All right, we got 10 seconds, and then we're gonna twist. They're sort of like these helicopter, airplane-y kind of things. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1 minute. Long leg or knee twisting, whatever works for you. And again, you can take it up as high or as low as you want to go. But stay safe. Feel that in the belly as you twist to either side. Shoulders are low again, out of the ears, drop them down. We want to keep those arms shoulder height, no more. We're halfway there. You guys got this, come on. 20 seconds. Here we go, tuck that belly in, belly button to the spine, 10 seconds to go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Shake it out, guys. All right. Excellent work. Grab a sip. Justin, I'll shoot it back to you.
Cool.
If you wanted to recap.
So just to kind of give you guys a visual, and if you wanted to do any of this on your own, what I set up is just made a, let's see a better way to do this. Can we see it? Is I just set up 2 clubs to make basically an L with it, and then a 3-ball drill. But again, it's not that difficult, just to kind of give you a visual of what we're doing, right? And so as you look at it, basically what we'll do now is if you set up, you just make an L with your clubs, basically. You can see it right there. Actually, that's a pretty good view. And then what we'll do is you're just going to line yourself up. So right now I'm going this way, where we're going to do the first rep. We're just going to go straight out in front. The next rep, we're going to go a little bit further. And then the next rep, we're going to try and really, really, really reach. Okay? So again, the setup isn't as important. It just gives you a visual on how you can kind of challenge yourself. And like we always say, if this is too challenging and we just want to move the balls closer and that's your 3 reps, that's okay. If this is too easy and you just want to spread it out a little further, but it'll give you an idea of how we can do it. So now from that point, what we'll do is we'll work 3 reps on each side. So if you have that set up, fine. If not, and you'll figure it out real quick how we're doing it. So what we'll do, so I have everything set up left, so I'm going to be on my left leg. If you have it set up right, you'll go to your right. But the first rep, I'm just going to reach pretty much straight down in front of me for the first one. And then the next rep, I'm going to go a little bit further to my outside. And then for the third rep, I'm going to reach even further, probably as far as I can reach. And we'll do one more. And if you can do it without putting your other foot on the ground, do that. 1, 2, 3. Good. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Good. Now I'll just take my, if I want to do the other side, I'll just literally mirror this. I'll flip my club the other way. Just take the balls. And again, there's no perfect way to do this. What I would pay attention to, though, is if you set it up the same on both sides and then one side significantly more challenging, I'd want to know that, because that means that we have a balance or stability thing on one side. So now I'm going to my right. I'm balancing on my right foot. I'm going to reach straight ahead. I'm going to reach to the middle. I'm going to reach to the outside. Good. I'm going to do one more. Reach straight ahead. Good. Reach to the middle. Reach to the outside. Perfect. Good. So a nice easy way that you can kind of do that drill on your own with the clubs and with balls, just so you can see the progression of it. If that's easy, spread it out further, but now you're starting to get balance, stability, and work on that rotation. So, and then again, part of that is it's interesting if you're just out there hanging out in your golf shoes, if you're wondering if you have shoes or if you're all over the place on the course. See how you feel doing this. If you feel good in your sneakers and your barefoot or whatever, and then you go and put your golf shoes on and you feel like you can't balance with doing some of these silly little drills, that might be an indication that you're not in the right shoes. And, you know, I think that's like the new frontier in golf that people are starting to get into, is understanding the shoes. We talked about it, I think, our last in-person session. When I went to TPI, the guy that founded it said they've done studies on people that they can get 3 to 4 more miles per hour of club speed just by changing their shoes. So just something to think about. I don't think anybody needs to go crazy, but if you do think like it's a thing, you know, make sure that you're doing your exercises, or make sure that you have the right balance in your golf shoes, because that'd be a silly thing to, you know, screw up your golf game because you're not in the right shoe. Shannon, you want to stretch them out?
Yeah. I wanted to say one thing. So I've been looking at golf shoes at the PGA Superstore, funny enough. And I went online to see like, okay, who's got the best shoes, like and so Golf Digest, like their 2020 best shoe report was, sorry, my dogs are really loud right now. It was like Adidas, the first 3 or 4 shoes were the Adidas. So I think I may be going with Adidas shoes. I don't know. I'm just curious.
Aren't they doing it at the pro shop? They have a big Adidas. Didn't they just do that at Fiddler's? Get a big Adidas
They
over
did.
there?
So
About 2 years ago, I bought the Adidas Boost,
Yeah, good.
you know, and it was like, from the first time I put it on, it was like a glove.
Oh, yeah?
Now, this whole balancing thing is interesting. And so I have another FootJoy pair of shoes that are nubbies, and they seem to be more flat
Right.
on the ground. And I was wearing them yesterday, and they felt that I think I have a better feel of the ground. And like you were talking about before, transferring weight, getting the weight transfer and actually using the ground.
Felt it?
I think it certainly made me feel a lot better yesterday when I was playing.
Yeah, no, because the big wave in golf shoes now has been more of like the flat across the back instead of like the old traditional one with the big heel. However,
Yeah.
If you're someone that's kind of has stiff lower body, either knees or like I have stiffer ankles. If you have stiffer ankles, it's actually beneficial to have a little bit of a heel lift because it just kind of gives you the ability to kind of move your knees a little bit better. So there isn't one perfect shoe. And then the other thing with FootJoy that I didn't even realize, I ordered a pair of FootJoys and they were crushing my feet, and I called them and I didn't realize they had regular and then wide. And so I need wide. I didn't even realize that they made those, but so yeah, it does. I've been searching too to try to figure out a good pair for me as well. So, but yeah, no, if you're used to wearing like a flatter shoe and then you put a heel on, it'll feel a little bit weird. It might take you a little bit of time to kind of get used to those guys.
But I think all this work also has given me more flexibility on the lower part of my body. Before I was pretty stiff. And
Yeah.
so I think I'm getting distance because of that.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the ability to kind of move, like all the club, the shoe, all that stuff, the equipment should be an adjunct to your physical body, and we can only kind of get around all of it for so long, right? And so, we start where we are physically, and then from there we can kind of add the pieces here, the driver that's lofted different, all that type of stuff. So I think you're exactly right. And the ability now, it's like you hear before you use the ground, it's like, I don't even know how to do that. Right. What does that actually mean? So now if we're doing the exercise and you have the mobility, we can actually get in these positions, create separation. Like, okay, what does that mean? Well, you saw today, it's like we stabilize one area and be able to move the other area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
get a quick stretch on here and I'll let you guys go. So we're just gonna start out. Let's see. We're just gonna start out. We're gonna go from the neck, shoulders, up the middle body to the hips. So we're gonna take our right hand, put it gently on the top of the head. We want to pull that head to the right. I want you to stick your left hand out like you're trying to grab the wall. So you really want to try to reach and then just pull that, gently pull on your head a little bit. So we're trying to get a big stretch in the top of your shoulder and your neck. We did a lot of work in that upper back today. Drop your chin to your chest and just hold. Breathe, reach away from you. Don't do enough neck stretching. I don't know if that was you that said that, Justin, but we need to give our neck more love, just because we carry so much tension in our neck. Let's go to the other side. So I'm going to reach out with my right hand to the wall or far away as I can, gently pull on my head and pull it over to the left. Drop my chin to my chest and breathe. Feel a little pop. Sometimes I can feel a little pop because my neck is so stiff. All right, so we're going to take our left hand. We're going to bring it across the body. You can lock the elbow in if you want, or just hold it, whatever works for you. And you want to open up that scapula in the back. So you almost kind of want to wing it out. You want to just feel a really nice stretch. I got a little stretch in the front of the arm too, but I want to just kind of feel that in my back. Just kind of hold it there. Anytime you stretch, you want to try to hold your positions if you can for 30 seconds. Sometimes we all don't have that much time. Other side, pull across the body. Again, open up that shoulder blade at the back. got a lot of tension back there too. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna go up overhead. I'm gonna grab my left wrist with my right hand. I'm gonna cross my left foot over the body, and I'm gonna sort of gently bend towards the right. I'm gonna try to push my left hip out. So I'm making a little C curve, and I'm feeling this between my armpit and my hip. I'm gonna look underneath that armpit. I'm just gonna try to open up my chest just a little bit. So I'm twisting, I'm feeling that right through from into my hip, right into my armpit, really kind of in my lats, my upper glute. I'm gonna switch sides. I'm gonna grab my right wrist with my left hand, cross my right foot over left, and bend towards the left. Push my right hip out, look underneath my right armpit. Awesome, good. All right, we're gonna do our little figure 4 pose. So if you have a seat, go ahead and sit and try to cross that leg over. Otherwise, you can do it standing and then just try to bend. So I'm gonna sort of sit back into this stretch. If you need your golf club out front for a little stabilization here. But again, you can do this in a sitting position. So if you're sitting on your chair, you can cross your leg over, same thing. Some people can't get there, that's okay. So it's just a really nice rear hip stretch. You can do this on the floor. I'm gonna switch sides. Right ankle over left knee now. I'm just kind of sending my butt back so that I can open up that hip and feel that stretch in my glute, my hamstring, my hip flexor. And again, if you need a balance, you can do it up against the wall in a seated position, whatever works for you. Awesome, guys. Feel pretty good.